How fast can you beat Salt and Sanctuary? Well, on a normal playthrough, you spend about 6 to 8 hours if you know what you're doing. When skipping bosses, you could probably finish in under an hour because there are plenty of skips you can take. But what about an all bosses speedrun? A while back, me and Lemon from the Backlogs channel competed in an all bosses speedrun race. It was a great time and I learned a lot. This is what it looked like from my end. Up until this point, I had never speedran SNS or any game for that matter, resulting in a big mistake right out the get-go. Thief was my starting class with Grasping Ring as an extra item. Thief gets some bombs at the start, which can really speed up early game bosses. However, this class is terrible against the deep. Cleric is actually the best class to start with because you get a mace and holy pages, which greatly speed up what is usually an optional boss. Already, I'm losing badly because of this mistake, but at least I know for sure I can beat him first try. Dagger, weak as it may be, leaves more than enough stamina to dodge his one-hit attacks. An 8-minute fight. Jeez, this dude is brutal. Iron Ones was my creed choice for easy access to elemental damage. A few extra grenades will come in handy as we equip the bandaged ring. That is why I chose extra grenades, because man do they pack a punch. And for my second mistake, we have missing the Sodden Night skip. Yes, it is faster, but not when you don't quite make it. Doing great so far, we can rush down to the 3 Sanctuary and equip Blacksmith Gloves for +3 strength. The Kiri Moa Greatsword can be found nearby, which is my weapon of choice. Wrapped Link speeds up rolling, so we have to have that. Then the Holy Pages outside Old Queenie put in some serious work. Using the dagger flip for speed, we can slot the Pale Charm, increasing weapon reach. Unfortunately, this is some of the worst RNG I've ever seen for Mad Alchemist. We're stomping him down, yes, but getting grabbed twice has got to be bad luck.
Going for it. Nope. I already healed, I'm fine. Already healed, get off of me. There we go.
Usually you would up strength to bring down enemies faster, but since we're going fast, extra willpower is the most important stat. Two-handing will make up for our damage stat for the time being.
Ow. It's giving me good RNG though.
Placing down a merchant, we can get shock stones for lightning damage, and at the blacksmith, our sword goes up to +3. Most rings are slightly out of the way, leaving us with just Grasping, Bandaged, and Wrapped Link for now. Vertigo Brand is a check, letting us enter Castle of Storms. 3 more Soldiers' Poems can be found just under the Sanctuary there. We can also slot the Mending Band sitting along our path. Kraken Worm is extremely weak to lightning, hence why I chose those Shock Stones as my buffing items. RNG can really kill you here if the dragon decides to fly up for half the fight. Somehow I got him to sit still most of the fight. Still could have had a faster ending, but I'll take what I can get.
The other day, he literally flew 4 times in a row. No! Oh, you stupid dragon. I will have your head for that one.
Wall Jumping Brand gets us on over to the Dome where I purchased some Pitch Fire. Iron Ones have access to both fire and lightning, making them such a good creed. Now here's where you can split off and go through Red Halls or into Dome of the Forgotten. For a speed run, you have to pick Dome, because the sooner we get our Dart Brand, the better.
Untouched scares me sometimes. Good RNG though. Ah, Tilly did that. Don't die. Okay, I got a rebuff anyway. That's fine. Okay, that's the attack I don't like. And I stopped him from doing another one.
One Lord's Order sits under the lever here. Equipping the lightning resistance ring should give me more wiggle room against Third Lamb. This amalgamation is extremely easy with fire. He's also one of the main reasons I chose extra reach as my charm. Some bosses can be hit when they can't yet attack themselves, letting you stay just out of danger while dishing greatsword damage like crazy. A messy second phase for sure, as you never know when to be greedy, or rather wait out his lightning.
Do the lightning attack. You punk! He's not gonna do it. There it is. Okay, I got hit that time.
Hard Light Brain gets us over into the Ziggurat, where I made the decision to swap over for the Stagger Charm. This is a somewhat significant time sink. However, I think you can see why it wasn't such a bad idea. Keeping bosses from attacking whatsoever removes 90% of the risk. And that is why I said 90%. Not my finest moment. Mainly the attacks required to stagger this bony fellow left me with no stamina.
Dude, is he not gonna summon fire under him? Because I am down with that. See ya! Alright, he got me. He sent me back, but we kind of made him a joke, too.
Access to the Dart brand means we can now begin the real speedrun. Skipping literally every enemy in the game becomes second nature. Not to mention, it can be a valuable tool for avoiding boss attacks, as long as you remember to use it for that. Skipping down into Bloodless Prince is easy enough. Lightning is once again my pick, as I have had really good success with it on him in the past. Ended up being really proud of my dodges near the end. Well, except for one, of course.
There's a stagger. It only took 35 hits. Did I frame through that? There we go. I got hit one time near the end. It was almost a perfect fight, but he kind of stuck me in a corner.
Bloodflower Ring is a nice pickup, increasing our damage by 10%. The Coveted is where we see a problem in my pathing. This is one of those bosses where you really want to have blunt damage. Greatswords are the best, but they don't deal with this kind of boss well. Ideally, we should stop off and grab a secondary strike weapon, even if it slows us down a little. Now that I think about it, starting as Cleric solves this problem, since you'd have the mace. Hindsight being what it is, we don't have that luxury. Maybe next time.
Really? Extra attack opportunity? Wow. Probably could have got it there. Let's not be greedy.
About now, I decided to teleport back and upgrade my sword from +3 to +5, something I really should have done 2 bosses ago. The light path towards Karstjaw can eat up your time if you suck. Coincidentally, I suck, but that's besides the point. 3 Lord's Orders lie here in wait as we trash us 1 Dark Executor. Speedrunning really isn't my nature, leading to a bit of nervousness seeping into my gameplay. My only goal was to not get shown up in front of the OG SNS YouTuber. Already, I can count around 6 or 7 major mistakes that cost me big chunks of time. Still gotta keep moving though and hope for the best at this point.
Okay, maybe shock was better.
Mal is really out of our way, which begs the question, when should we go take her down? I chose now since we had to teleport anyway, but it's a question I don't exactly know the answer to. Stagger can make a huge difference against these magic attacks. Even still, extra reach would have probably been better because of how far away you need to roll.
gonna start doing triple here in a second. That was weird. That was weird. What'd she do? Double summon? See, a perfect Malphite. What? That doesn't happen every day.
Red Halls is easily the longest section we need to clear. Our Dart brand reduces our stay in the area, and even then, it was still kinda lengthy. As for the Tree of Men, you can make him a complete joke with lightning. Something to wonder about is whether or not going with the Golden Wine would have been helpful. Not really in my mind, because farming for the Creed items would take you forever. Apparently, there's a skip you can do in Haggar's Cavern that saves time as well. I did not know about this one, and to tell you the truth, I still don't. One of those more confusing areas, let me tell you. Meaning, I had to go all the way down for the key and then open up Disemboweled Husk. Always room for improvement, they say. Husk is one of those hard bosses from most runs. Oh wait, never mind. We're using a greatsword. No problems here.
Oh crap, that hit me.
I skipped over the poison resistance ring hoping it would save time. As long as we don't get melted by green gas, that shouldn't be a big deal. Fire is beautiful against this goofy ball of teeth. He barely even gets to attack us. Mossy Ring for stamina regen should let us move even faster. With the Redshift brand, we teleport over to Ronin Cran. Not the most active boss you'll ever meet, which makes it annoying when he decides to not stand still over half the time. Only when you need him to die quickly will he be an actual boss. Of course.
Lightning. Yeah, lightning is definitely better.
Witch of the Lake hit me with the old "not today, buddy," and my RNG was terrible for some reason, leading to another abysmal attempt. Definitely one of the harder bosses to nail down when she can cast so many different forms of magic. Also, I may have used the wrong item during all this, really scaring the bejeebies out of me.
Dang it, she's stun locking me with that. Huh, well, that's not a good place for her to be. Wrong thing! Ah! That's crazy that I did that in the middle of the fight.
As you head towards Unskinned, there's a very easy way to drop down towards them, that I now always use but didn't know about during the speedrun. More time lost, as you might remember I also never went back to upgrade my weapon. Getting our sword to max is impossible, as what we need to do so is behind Cran in a chest. And since we're not really hurting damage-wise, I never stopped to use my 6th upgrade either. What's really tough is deciding whether or not you should take the time to level or deal with upgrades. Obviously not doing so is optimal, unless of course you never get any stronger. Then you're purposely going slow for no reason. Tricky stuff, that's for sure. While trying to get the Forgotten King done and dealt with, I went too fast without thinking. And this is one death that costs you, since it's one of the longest runbacks. Even watching this back myself makes me frustrated at, well, me. One good decision I made was to re-equip the Mending Band. There's a ton of damage you take getting down here, and while this is one of the less threatening bosses, they do chip away at your health constantly. Swapping over to focus all my strength on the mage was key. For some reason, the king was just hanging out in a corner, which I guess I can't complain about.
Mage? Sometimes I feel like the knight doesn't even have a hitbox on his sword. Or not a hitbox, but like a... doesn't even do damage with the sword. Two kills, a quick succession. I like that.
Ending with about 40 strength, 14 endurance, and 26 willpower, I could have stood to up willpower a tad more. Kraken Dragon is one of the more technical bosses, as you need to go out of his magic any way you can. A lot of times you can get clipped by his breath, even when correctly holding up above it. Mending Band once again comes in clutch to top us up back to full. One of our lengthier fights, as I wasn't using my jumps enough to stay in close.
Ah, you did it that time. I was close.
One fight left. Had me slightly rattled. Making my way to the secondary checkpoint wasted more time, but one death and that would have saved me nearly a minute. Alright, here we go. The good old optimal greatsword versus one last opponent. We need to make this quick, while not getting so greedy that we end up dying. A tall order against the Dark Lord himself. Let's see how this goes.
Really need that extra fire damage. His strike resistance is bonkers. I've gotten some nice RNG on this dude. I knew he was gonna go for it, and I couldn't stop him. Dang it, as I went to heal too. Tough opponent for sure. No, I dodged the wrong way. Oh, I wish I had a hammer. Come on, do the stupid sword flip. That's the easy attack. Yes!
After jumping down into the hole and officially ending the game, what do you think we ended up with time-wise? 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 15 seconds. Considering I could definitely clean up several mistakes, this seemed pretty good. Everyone was also telling me that I did manage to win the race, which had me ecstatic. That is, until they told me Backlogs was using firebombs. Bro was trolling me, and it still came down to the wire. Guess I have a lot of work to do to become a pro. Still, that was a good amount of fun. Thank you to the Backlogs for asking me to be a part of this race, now that it's been about 5 months since we did this. Time flies, I guess. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like that thumbs up button down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.